Today, we're looking at 5 things good players have in their golf bag. I bet you don't have number 4. That video is going to be funny because I am the least organised person on the planet, but I feel from experience, I can hand on heart say, had I had the right equipment, whether that's dealing with potential conditions that we're about to face on the golf course, items that will make just the game so much easier, or things in your golf bag to remind you about your golf game, it's quite important, really. It is, yeah. Tip number 1. Yes, we've started. You hear that? We're started. Woohoo! This is one thing that you see on the bag of a good golfer more than you see on a, I don't say bad golfer, inexperienced golfer, let's say. You know what this is doing, yeah? This is, of course, a distance measuring device in the form of a shot scope. And now I know I've said this before, but I cannot stress to you how important this is. Distance measuring devices, knowing how far you've got. Every good player's got one, whether it's a rangefinder or it's a watch, or both. But golf is a game of precision. You can't guess your way around the golf course. It is so easy to be that golf club whacker guy. I am the golf club whacker guy. But to play good golf, the game needs more respect than that, and things like this definitely help us. Give me an object. Give me an object. What about that bench there? 19 yards if you wanted to hit the bench. My golf bag? 50 yards. The edge of the trees is 270 yards from here, so I can hit not driver, utility to that middle conifer. Info straight off the tee. If you want to, you can even use it in and around the green. 1 yard. That's stupid. But yes, distance measuring devices, if you haven't got one already, get one. Happy days. Item number 2 that every good golfer has in the golf bag. We're going to start with the obvious stuff here, and that's the same branded, same model golf ball. We've said this again in the past, but if I was to open the pocket of an amateur golfer, someone new to the game, you would see different colours, different logos, different brands, different models. Don't do it. Don't do it. Get yourself a cheap, same branded, same model golf ball. Go and get yourself a ball fitting if you're a bit more established in the game, and help yourself out a little bit, because like I said before, you've got 30 different colours. You've got all the colours of the rainbow of golf ball, and each one goes 10 yards difference. The SpongeBob ball with a 7-iron goes 140, but the Avengers golf ball, rock solid, goes 240. Same golf club, you're in trouble. Slight of exaggeration. Tip number 3 is a controversial one, but let me just stick this close, which would be very controversial, before we get into it. There's no controversial about that, that's standard. It's rolled like 30 through. So item number 3 is not this can of soda, sugar-free. It's in this pocket, and it's in the shape of a mobile phone. Now, if you think I'm talking about taking a phone call, messaging your lover, Snapchatting, or social mediaing, then this one's for you. You know, if you're practicing for a tournament, you're having a practice round on a course you've never seen before, or just you want to get to know your local course a little bit better. I do in fact use a shot scope app for full GPS mapping, so I can see on a big screen exactly what I'm going to face. But also a Swingtweak, which you've already tried, of course, haven't you? Haven't you? If that had got in. Ladies and gentlemen, Swingtweaks. Now, there is a reason Swingtweaks are a part of these videos, is because I fully think this is the future for us golfers that don't have enough time to invest in lessons. Maybe you're scared, maybe you just can't be right, honestly. Well, don't you worry your little bottoms, okay? What we're talking about, well, Swingtweaks is a free app available on Google Play or the App Store. And you know those days where your swing's just like fettuccine? Well, you can just send a video of your swing down the line and face on, and a PGA Professional will get back to you in a few hours with some sort of assistance to help you stop swinging like fettuccine. But seriously, if you need some persuasion, we've got some great feedback from our channel as to how much it's helped them But also, if you want to see my first tweak, the card is up there. If you know, you need a bit of reassurance, that's fine. But like, it's the cost of a sleeve of balls. It doesn't cost a lot, and honestly, it is a game changer. The PGA Professional will get back to you with all the drills and tweaks you need to make to play some decent golf and not swing it like fettuccine. No more fettuccine. I mean, I can't persuade you any more than giving you a 20% off your first tweak with code Big Al, you know? Give it a go, one off. If you don't like it, don't bother. If you do, and you will, continue. I love it, and it's sorted my golf game out. Well, it saved my golf game, let's put it that way. Okay then, item number 4. Now, I reckon I'd put a number of 1 or 2% of you do this. Honestly, golf's cheat code. Let me just bash this first. That faded. That was a fade, gents, ladies and gents. A fade, faddy. So object number 4, I wouldn't say is a necessity to be a good player, but it definitely helps. I'm talking about a little wee bag tag that features all of your distances per club. And with a gap test, you should get a printout of every yardage you hit with a golf club. This for me is vital, because even if you know your distances and you've been to get your distances checked out in a gap test, it's a lot of distances to remember. You've got potentially 13 golf clubs, 12 golf clubs to remember how far you carry each one. Some golfers have it laminated on the bag hanging down. Others will have it in a little book like this, very nice. Oh yes, I do suck. Not to bring the phone up again, but you could even just stick it in your notes so you know how far you hit each club. And especially if we tie that into our first tip with a measuring device, we can cross-reference 145 yards is my pitching wedge. Is my pitching wedge. Completely dependent on the lie, of course. I know now that I carry a pitching wedge 145 yards. It happens to be 145 yards. That's taking the guessing game from a vertical distance dispersion perspective. I think that's 4 feet away. It's a good swing. It was online, and I know from my pitching wedge that goes 145 yards that it should be pretty close. Now, there are different levels to this. The reason you don't see a pro work this out is because that's what the caddy is there. The caddy is literally there to be the distance bag tag. They are a glorified distance bag tag. A very good one. Now, I'm not dissing caddies, but we get to the category 1 player, scratch, plus player, professional. This is when you could almost break the shots down even more. You could do a easy swing distance, you could do a quarter swing with a wedge, you could do half a swing with a wedge, you could have 3 or 4 distances per wedge. Anyone can do that. It's just a lot to remember, but it's definitely worth doing if you've got a bag tag. But this is what the playlist Big Al's Tips is all about. I'll tag it up above. Cutting out the BS, just trying to make the game as simple as possible. Because it is hard. If anyone tells you otherwise, they're cheating, or they're playing tag with PGA Tour 2004 on Xbox. Woo, birdie! Now, tip number 5, vitally important, and it's the difference, honestly, no over-exaggeration. It's not about a tip, it's not just the tip. It's preparation. Being prepared for a round in the conditions you're going to face. So you've got a fantastic golf trip sorted for Northern Ireland, Scotland, England, Wales, Ireland. There's probably one thing you need to prepare for, and it's not sunshine. My little tip for this is preparing for the worst. There's a good chance it's going to rain quite a lot if you're coming over here. Not today though. Beautiful. What is that? What is that glowing thing in the sky? Is it an orange? You will need, as Rihanna says, an umbrella, Ella. Hey. But I would also pack multiple golf clubs because you're going to get one wet and then you can replace them and it keeps you dry. Find a dry, lovely place in your bag and pack a towel to keep you dry. I know it sounds obvious, but it's so easy just to pick your clubs up from last weekend, covered in mud, not prepared for the round, and I reckon it costs so many shots not being prepared for the conditions you're going to be facing. Or a day like today, it's mid-20s, very humid. I've packed lots of water, not beer, water, thank you. And of course suntan cream, which I do apply, not enough. But you're not going to play your best golf if you're saturated or you've got heat stroke. So help yourself, okay? I grew up in England, got absolutely sodden. The days I wasn't prepared, I struggled. I live a good chunk of my life in Australia, and it's the opposite. It's hot, sweaty, and again, can be very treacherous on score and mentality, I'd say. Have I got water? Am I dehydrated here? But again, it's an obvious one, but do you do it properly? I don't. I'm willing to admit that right now, that I put this pen to paper on some sort of script and go, yes, it makes so much sense. The amount of times where I'm almost self-sabotaging because I'm dehydrated. I'm not mentally there because I've not drank enough water. I've had too much sun. Wear a hat. I've got that one on the hot list, didn't I? But guys, I honestly hope these little tips, it's a bit of fun, but if you're new to the game, be prepared. This game can kick you in the arse. Can I say arse? I said arse. Sorry, Mum. But I mean, if you've not tried Swingtweaks, for goodness sake, give it a go. Honestly. And tell me if I've forced you to spend money that's not benefited you, because I would happily put my hands up. This will be the best money you've ever spent on your golf game. Anyway, wear a hat.